couple weeks ago on WWDC, Apple announced that they are transitioning to their own chipsets called Apple Silicon. And since many YouTubers explained the fact itself, I want to explain how this transition will change the whole industry. This is 915 Media, let's go! To get a better understanding, let's get back to the past. WWDC 2005. Steve Jobs announces their transition from PowerPC to Intel x86 processors. But what was the reason for it? Apple analyzed that with Intel chips, they could achieve better performance and not just a raw power, but more performance per watt. At that time, it was critical because Apple couldn't deliver that necessary performance boost in their laptops. And additionally, they were thinking ahead. So that decision of change came to life. And as a result, Apple has been packaging their Macs with Intel chips for the last 15 years until this very moment. So what's the reason now then? Almost the same as before. Back in the day, Intel was scheduled to start implementing 10nm processors for the Mac machines by 2016, but they didn't. Instead, Apple had to use the old 14nm ones, and which caused letting down Apple since they already made a new MacBook design which actually required a power-efficient processor. Especially it affected the 2018 15-inch MacBook Pro with the Core i9 processor. So as we know, it was hitting as there is no tomorrow, which significantly staggered Apple's trust in Intel. To resolve it, Apple made many software updates to reduce the heat and as well as performance, and further changed the thermal design for the new 16-inch MacBook. And the saddest part is that customers who spent their hard-earned money for that MacBook got affected the most, which was the last stumbling block for Apple. Since Apple Silicon was announced, why is it revolutionary? So let's talk about like this. Apple now is free from Intel's schedule problems, and this would mean that MacBooks each year will get significantly better and better because Apple will bring synergy between hardware and software. This is something that many PC manufacturers just aren't able to do. And remember how much powerful the 2018 iPad Pro was? It still performs better than 92% of portable PCs. And again, this is why many companies are struggling to do so, because only Intel and AMD have rights to make x86 processors. They created a monopoly around the market which made us, customers, pay more than necessary. So when Apple's transition finishes, other companies will do the same. Because every notebook manufacturer wants to get the best performance at the lower power cost, which essentially defines a great product. From a software side, once Microsoft sees the trend and demand for the manufacturers, they will remove all the restrictions, and moreover, Windows has been working on ARM for a while already, so it won't be a problem for them to release a full version for every ARM machine. How actually we, customers, will benefit from it? As I said previously, we will get dramatically better performance because ARM-based processors can maintain high performance while consuming as less power as possible, which leads to a next benefit: better battery life. And since those chips require less power, we can finally get the best battery life possible. Imagine doing heavy tasks like video editing and Photoshop and not seeing how your battery percentage flees out. Additionally, all iOS apps can be launched on macOS as well, which would finally allow to have at least some gaming experience on Mac. And again, it all can work without any fans at all. In conclusion, Apple made a bold decision by introducing their new transition to Apple Silicon. Unfortunately, on the day one, many professional programs won't work on the new architecture, but without a doubt, long term, this transition will change the whole industry and bring another revolution to create the best product possible.